We hadn't even said goodbye yet at the door, and I was already thinking about when I'd see you next. Not in an anxious way, just in the way where good things make you want more of them before the current one ends. You were putting on your jacket and talking about something, and I was half listening and half just watching you, and thinking about how the evening went so fast, and how I wanna do every part of it again with you. Having something to look forward to feels different now than it used to feel before you were part of how my week gets organized around the good things coming, and you were every good thing that keeps me running through the in-between days with a little more ease, because somewhere at the end of the week there's please just a few hours of your company, and that's enough to make everything in between considerably less tough. You texted me from the street 2 minutes after leaving, said I forgot to tell you something, and then told me. And it wasn't anything urgent, just something you remembered. And I thought about how you thought of me completely on the walk home, which means I was on your mind in the same way you were on mine, and that kind of mirroring without any coordination is its own specific form of confirmation. Having you somewhere in the near future to look toward makes every current moment feel like something stored toward a larger thing that keeps on getting better. Every week another page of the same good letter. You said same time next week before I thought to ask, and I said obviously like it was the easiest task in the world to agree to, and it genuinely is, because next week with you is already the highlight. You walk through the city like you own the good parts of it, every block becoming slightly more interesting with you on it than it was before you arrived, which is either the city or you specifically. Probably you, because I've walked these streets for years without finding half the things you've pointed out to me in the past few months of walking them with you, who sees whatever hides in plain sight naturally. Every corner we turn reveals something worth stopping for, a detail on a building or a view nobody cared to explore before you noticed it existed in the first place. You ruined walking alone for me entirely in the best case possible scenario, because everywhere I go has your commentary playing quietly below the surface of my own observation. Now I see things through your eyes, without knowing how. You stopped to help someone read a map last week without being asked, just noticed they were confused. Gave them directions with your hands moving illustratively, then carried on like nothing had been used. That's the kind of person who makes the city better, not just for me but for whoever shares the weather of a Tuesday afternoon with you in passing. The effect you have on everything is lasting. Every street we've walked together has a memory on it. Every block between your place and mine has something on it, worthy in the most ordinary sense of worth. Just two people moving through a city, finding its worth in the small things that the hurrying commuters miss. You slow me down enough to notice all of this. The city looks the way it always looked before you came, but through your eyes it never once looks quite the same. You called shotgun before I'd even found my keys, and adjusted every setting in the car to yours. Temperature and mirrors and where the seat sits, and I didn't change a single one of them afterward. We hit the road without a destination decided, just the general direction of somewhere warm and wide. You connected your phone and played whatever felt right, and the whole afternoon opened up on the other side. There's a specific freedom in a drive with no arrival, just the road ahead and your company for survival of whatever the week threw at us before today. And we left it all behind somewhere along the way. You leaned your elbow on the window in the summer air, and let the wind do whatever it wanted with your hair. And I kept my eyes on the road, but mostly felt the whole weight of the week lift clean and leave us both whole. We stopped somewhere between nowhere and somewhere else, at a viewpoint neither of us had been to before, and sat on the hood and ate whatever was in the bag you packed without telling me which I love you more for. The drives that matter most don't have a point to make, they just give you space to breathe and time to take stock of everything that's good about your life. And what's good about mine has your name at the height. There's a specific ease about being in motion with you, no pressure to arrive or be anything particular or new, just forward and together, and music playing low, and the air coming in warm from wherever the windows go. You sang along to something you only have remembered, and made up up the parts you'd forgotten unencumbered. And I loved every made-up word of the whole song, and drove slower than I needed to all along. The same bar, the same corner, the same low evening light. You were already there when I walked through the door. Something about that keeps happening between us, like we're both pulled toward the same spot more. You looked up when I came in like you expected me. Not surprised, just settled into the fact of it. We ordered without discussing it, the usual things the waiter already knew, which says something about it. Whatever draws me back here every week has your name written quietly at the peak of every reason I can think of when I try. Not your name exactly, just the feeling of your eye catching mine across the room before we said hello. The warmth that follows me home after the evening's glow has faded from the room, but not from somewhere inside, where you've been living rent-free for a considerable ride. You said something funny in the middle of a story that wasn't meant to be funny, but was completely the funniest thing I'd heard all week, because of how you delivered it entirely seriously. The evenings here are good on their own merits, but they're considerably better with you in them. You make the ordinary setting feel like somewhere worth returning to, which is exactly what keeps bringing. Whatever keeps pulling me toward the same table has everything to do with you being capable of making any evening feel like the best one yet. With no particular effort, just by being here, you lean back in your chair with that look of yours, the one that opens up the most interesting doors in conversation without any key required. Just you being exactly who you are desired. Days are getting shorter by a few minutes each week. That specific late August shift where the light changes angle. You noticed it before I did on our walk last Tuesday. Said the evenings feel different now in a particular tangle of wistfulness, not sadness, just the noticing that something beautiful is slowly winding down. You said it without lamenting, just observing the way you observe everything in this town. There's a tenderness in the last of the warm evenings, when the year starts its slow turn towards something leaning to darker mornings, cooler air, thinner light. But you beside me makes the turning feel right. Not like something ending, more like a page turning to the next good chapter without any warning of what the summer gave, because what it gave was this. Every warm evening with you, nothing I would miss. We sat outside later than was comfortable temperature-wise, because neither of us wanted to move inside. You brought a blanket from somewhere near the end, the kind of practical care you always provide. The season shifts, but you stay constant in the way that makes all the changing feel less like decay, more like variation on a theme worth keeping through every version of the year worth seeking. There's a warmth in the last of these long evenings that has nothing to do with the temperature or leanings of August toward its finish, just the fact of you here in it, making everything intact. You pulled the blanket closer around us both so easily, the gesture so natural, it landed breezily on my chest like proof of something already decided, between two people who've already quietly decided. You say my name differently than everyone else does. Not the sound of it, just something in the delivery, like it means something specific when it comes from you. And every time I hear it, I feel it immediately. You said it across a crowded room last Saturday, and I turned around before I'd consciously registered that you were the one who said it, and thought about why my name sounds like that when it comes from you unfiltered. There are small things that give away how someone feels before they've said a word about it, and what reveals itself in all the small things that you do around me is something I've been noticing consistently and soundly. The way you find me in a room before you find your seat, and the way you check on me when the evening starts to heat up with noise and people, and you just quiet appear. And I think that's the thing I wanna keep every year. You called to tell me something that could have been a text, and I answered and you said hey, and then the next 3 minutes were the best 3 minutes of my Tuesday, and I went back to what I was doing in the best way. The small things stack up into something undeniable, and I've been stacking them for months in every viable corner of my memory, and what they add up to is a very clear picture that keeps looking like you. There are small things that tell you everything you need before the big conversation plants the seed, and all the small stick around in ways that keep on lasting in my chest, past the moment and into the next day. And I think that's the kind of thing worth finding a way to say.
There was a version of me that kept one foot out of everything just in case, which felt like protection. But it was really just the habit of someone who hadn't found a reason for full connection. You didn't ask me to change that pattern directly, just kept showing up in a way that made it pointless. Because halving with someone fully worth it felt increasingly like the more painful choice. Going all in on something real is terrifying until the moment it isn't, which you're right. Somewhere between month 2 and month 3, without any announcement, it just arrived. Like a door I've been standing in front of for years, finally opening without any fanfare or fears. Just swinging wide because the person on the other side was worth every single thing I had to lay aside. You noticed the shift before I named it to myself. Said something feels different recently in the best way. I said yeah, I think I stopped hedging on this without quite knowing that was what I'd started to display. The difference between being in something fully versus halfway is the difference between actually having it or just adjacent to it, which is the loneliest place I've ever been. Going all in on you keeps feeling like the right call. Every day that confirms it more than the last overall. Not because nothing goes wrong, but because when it does wrong. But because when it does, we handle it together, which is exactly what love was always supposed to look like, in the version that actually works past the first easy excursion of feeling into the longer, more honest stretch. You're worth every part of that commitment without
You showed up in flip-flops to something that called for shoes. without a single explanation. And everyone in the room thought it was somehow perfect, which is just the effect you have on every situation. You move through the world like the rules are suggestions that apply to other people on a case-by-case basis. And watching you get away with everything you get away with is one of my favorite ongoing cases. You talked your way into a sold-out restaurant once and got us the best table on the first bounce. And when I asked how you did it, you shrugged completely and said, I just asked, which is so discreetly. You that I couldn't stop thinking about it for days. The confidence of just asking in the most straightforward ways and getting the thing you asked for like it was always there, and teaching me by example that most things are if you just dare. We ended up on the beach by accident that evening after dinner ran long, and you said, let's just walk. And the walk turned into the water, and the water turned into an hour standing there and talk. You waded in up to your knees in your clothes and said, this is fine, in a way that nobody knows how to argue with. And I waded in beside you because what you do always seems worth doing beside you. You talked me into every good thing that happened this summer, including wading into the ocean in full clothes, which was a wonder, and standing there dripping and completely unbothered, and laughing at the state of us while everything gathered into one of those moments that locks into memory clean. And you are in the center of every good one I've seen in the past few months, and I want you in every one ahead, starting right now and continuing until further said. We got on the same wavelength so fast it surprised me. Usually it takes longer to find that kind of sync, but with you the conversation just clicked immediately. And I've been thinking about what that means, and I think it means something real, because the easy ones are rare, the ones where you don't have to translate yourself, where things land the first time without any adjustment, and you can just say what you mean off the shelf. We finish each other's references without any prompting, and find the same things worth stopping and commenting on in any given situation. We're both in and navigate whatever comes up without any spin needed on the communication. We get the point across, and talking to you never feels like any kind of loss of energy, the way some conversations do. It only ever feels like getting more of something true. You got my sense of humor on the very first day, without me having to explain any context or way into the joke, and just laughed in exactly the right place. And I thought, okay, this person genuinely gets my pace. Finding someone who gets you without the work of establishing the context every single time is the kind of thing most people spend years looking for. And here you are, just effortlessly on my rhyme. We got on the same page without writing any of it down, and navigate each other without any frown of confusion or miscommunication landing wrong. And every conversation we have just feels so strong. And the way that things feel when the foundation is real, and the foundation between us has such a specific feel of two people who somehow already knew the language and just needed to find each other to use it with full advantage. You do this thing when something genuinely delights you, where your whole face rearranges itself completely. Not a polite smile, but the real one that arrives before you've had a chance to manage it discreetly. I've been cataloging the things that bring it out, without making it obvious that I'm keeping track. The specific conditions required for the full version to appear, which I've gotten pretty good at. There's the one for something unexpectedly funny, where you close your eyes slightly at the peak. The one for something beautiful caught off guard, where you breathe in before you speak. The one for something someone you love achieve, that takes a second to arrive and stays. The one you give me sometimes for no reason, that keeps me going through the ordinary day. You smiled at your phone last week at something I wasn't part of, and I felt genuinely glad, not curious, just happy that you had something worth that expression, whatever it had. Love and someone's joy, independent of your role in it, is the version of caring that goes the deepest, where you want the smile to exist regardless of its source, because the smile itself is what you value the keenest. There's the smile you save for when something goes exactly right, that arrives slow like it earned the right to land tonight. The one for stories that ended better than expected, the one for people who showed up when least expected, the one you give when you've decided something clearly, that lands on me sometimes so specifically, nearly takes my breath away with how direct it is. That particular one I wanna keep is mine, that is. You had a rough week and I knew before you told me, just from the way your voice sounded on the phone. Not broken, just a little thinner than its usual weight, the kind of tired that doesn't wanna be alone. I didn't ask 100 questions or offer solutions, just said I'll be there in 20, which I was. You opened the door, still in your work clothes, looking tired. I handed you the thing I picked up just because. Showing up without being asked is the whole thing. Not the grand gesture, but the quiet offering of being present when the day has cost someone more than it should have. By the time it's done, you sat down on the floor instead of the couch, which told me everything about where you were at the crouch of the evening. So I sat down on the floor beside you without making it a moment, just stayed right inside you. We didn't talk much for the first little while, just existed in the same space while the evening settled. You eventually started telling me about the week, the parts that wore the edges off your metal. Being someone's soft place to land at the end of a hard day is a role I wanna keep for every version of the way your week decides to treat you, whether easy or difficult. The showing up regardless is the whole result. Showing up for you keeps feeling like the clearest thing. Not complicated, not dramatic, just the offering of being here reliably whenever the week gets heavy. Consistent in the way that makes someone feel steady. You look better by the time we said goodnight. Not fixed, just lighter, which was exactly right. The kind of better that comes from not being alone in it, from having someone there who genuinely means it.
September came in quietly like it always does. A slight shift in the morning air before the heat returns. You noticed it first on the walk to the station. That specific coolness the last month of summer earns. You said something's changing in the weather, not with any sadness, just with that observant tone of someone who pays attention to the world around them, which is one of the things I love most since we've known. The summer that brought us to where we are now deserves some kind of acknowledgement somehow. Not a formal one, just the quiet recognizing of everything it held while it was rising. Through June into July into the August heat, every picked up a fallen leaf on the way to the train. The first one of the season, barely turned at the edge. Held it up between us like a small announcement that the year was moving gently off its ledge. Ooh, every season ending used to feel like subtraction. Now it feels like addition in a different form. Because what the summer gave us isn't leaving, it's just becoming part of whatever comes in the wall. Exactly why I wanna hold this with you indefinitely.
We ended up on the rooftop around 6 without planning, and the whole city went amber below. You were mid-sentence when the light changed completely, and stopped talking just to let the moment hold us. You looked at the sky and then at me and back at the sky, and said, this is ridiculous in the best way. And I agree completely, because it was. And so were you in that specific light of the day. There are moments that feel like they were made for two people, to stand in together and feel the whole cathedral of the world doing something genuinely beautiful. And you being beside me made it more valuable than anything I could have experienced on my own, because sharing it with you gave it a different tone of meaning that it wouldn't have had otherwise. And I wanna share every golden hour under every sky. Took a photo of the city, not of me, and then they turned the phone around and took one of us. And I looked terrible and you looked perfect naturally, and you set it as your wallpaper without any fuss. I looked at that photo later on my own phone and thought about how the evening felt from the inside versus how it looked from the outside, and decided that from the inside was the better ride. There are moments that only happen once exactly, and then live in your memory where they act free from the laws of time and stay as vivid as they were. And this one stays particularly clear and sure. You leaned against the railing as the sky went pink, and I stood close enough to feel the warmth and think that whatever this is between us fits this light. And I wanna keep finding out what that means every night.
The windows have been open every night this week. That specific late summer air that comes in cool after 10. You've been here for most of it, which has become the version of late August I want to have again. We don't do anything particularly remarkable, just exist in the same warm space as the evening thins. You on your side of the couch, me on mine, with that comfortable distance that shrinks on its own begins. Late summer evenings with the windows open wide have a quality that nothing else provides. The air's still warm, but carrying something new, a hint of what's coming without being blue. About it just present in the specific now of this season, with you here somehow making the last warm nights feel like the fullest ones of everything the year has offered everyone. You said something last night right before sleep that you probably didn't think I'd remember fully, but I did, because the way you said it landed in a place that doesn't let things go so newly. The things said quietly in almost sleeping hours carry a specific kind of honesty that towers over the careful daytime version of the same words, because the guard is down completely when it's heard. Late summer evenings keep feeling like they're holding something precious in the gradual unfolding of two people who got lucky with the timing of finding each other right when everything was climbing toward the best version of a season either has known. You pulled a blanket across without being told. The air had shifted and I hadn't noticed yet, which is exactly how you love, without any regret. Before you, I didn't know what it felt like to have someone root for you without conditions. Not the cheerleader kind, just the quiet, ongoing belief in you that requires no auditions. You believe in the things I'm working toward with more conviction sometimes than I manage myself. Bring them up unprompted in conversations like they matter, which makes me put them back on the shelf of things worth pursuing rather than than just dreaming about you. Have a way of making me less full of doubt. Not through encouragement exactly, more through example of someone who does the things they care about. Ample evidence of which is visible in everything you do. The way you commit to whatever matters to you, completely without waiting until conditions are perfect, which is the whole lesson I needed most. Worth it. You pushed back once when I was about to give up on something I've been working on for months. Not harshly, just with that clear-eyed assessment that cuts through the self-defeating stunts. Being believed in by the right person changes the internal voice more than any external praise, because it comes from someone who knows your full picture, not just the highlight version on display. Before you, I didn't know this version of myself existed, the one who follows through on things that once were resisted by the part that said it wasn't worth the effort. You made that part considerably less clever by simply being someone who does what they say, shows up for their own life in a full and genuine way, which made me want to match it without any announcement, just quietly becoming someone worth the pronouncement.
I used to have this feeling with no particular direction, just warmth looking for somewhere specific to land. Then you started showing up consistently enough that the warmth found its coordinates to stand. Not all at once, more like a gradual focusing, the way eyes adjust when you walk into a dim room. One day everything was blurry with potential, the next it was you in sharp relief coming through. Every good feeling I carry now points your direction, not because I assigned it there by any decision, just because you kept being the person at the end of every thought worth following around the bend. You're where my mind goes when something good happens, when I hear a song that fits the season, when the evening light does something worth noticing. You became the reason behind every reason. You sat across from me last week, working quietly on something I didn't ask about, just let you do. The comfortable kind of shared space where nothing needs explaining between me and you. Comfort with another person is the slowest kind of gift. It arrives without announcement or any kind of lift of ceremony, just settles into the ordinary hours, like it always lived there among the days and hours. Every good feeling I carry keeps landing here, in whatever room you're in, whichever season or year. Not dramatically, just with that quiet certainty that tells you something has settled permanently. You looked up from just to check on me, not asking anything, just present in the way that says I know you're here, and I'm glad about it, which is everything I want at the end of every day.
The train was 4 minutes late, which gave me time to just stand there with nothing requiring attention. You texted me something funny 20 minutes prior that I kept rereading without any real intention of replying to, because I was still laughing at it. Just standing on the platform, being completely gone on someone who didn't even know I was standing there, smiling at my phone while the commuters carried on. Platform moments have their own specific quality, a pause between the places you have to be, where the city is moving fast in every direction, nobody looking at each other in this section of a day where everyone is somewhere in their head. You were in mine while I stood waiting for the red line to arrive, which it eventually did. But I stayed in that thought about you like a kid. You asked me later what I did on the commute. I said thought about you, which I'd normally edit down to something more careful before sending, but I just sent it without any credit. You replied with something that made me smile again on the next platform at the other end of the line, which means you were on my mind through the entire journey, both ways in kind. Platform moments keep collecting in my memory, every commute that had you running commentary through my head before we'd even talked that day. The specific warmth of thinking about someone that way, where just the fact of them existing in your life makes a Tuesday feel less like something to survive. You were 4 minutes of platform thinking on a regular day, which turned out to be the best 4 minutes of the whole relay.
You came back from that weekend with your shoulders darker, tan lines from the straps of whatever you wore in the sun. Showed me the photos like each one was worth examining, which they were because you were in every single one. You told me about the trip with that specific energy of someone where they went. Described every detail with your hands moving fast. The way you talk when you're excited about something spent. Watching you be happy about something I wasn't part of. Is it some specific feeling at the heart of something I've been figuring out about what this means to care about someone's joy in all its scenes? Not just the ones that involve you directly, but the ones they live before you and currently, without you in the frame at all, and feeling glad for everything good they have or ever had. You showed me the one where you're mid-laugh at something. The camera caught you off guard, completely unposed, hair blowing wrong direction, eyes half closed. The best photo of you I've ever seen disclosed. You set your phone down after the last one, said it was a good trip with such simple satisfaction. Not everything needs a larger meaning attached. Sometimes good is the whole of the transaction. Watching you talk about things that make your whole face open is the kind of everyday gift I wanna keep on holding in the highest regard of what it means to be close to someone, letting their joy just land on you. When it's done, you pulled up one more photo at the very end, one you said you almost didn't take because the lens was foggy, but it turned out perfect, which it did. The light on the water behind you, everything hid. You came to my friend's thing, not knowing anyone there, and within 20 minutes you knew everyone's name. And I watched you do it from across the room, thinking how you walk into every situation the same, completely at ease and genuinely curious about whoever you're talking to at any given point. And everyone you meet ends up a little brighter for having been in your orbit, even briefly enjoined. You fit into every part of my life so naturally that I keep forgetting there was a version factually of all of it without you somewhere in the frame. And the frame looks so much better since you came. My friends already ask about you when you're not around, and save you the good seat to know your order sound. And I think that's what it looks like when someone belongs in every room you're in, and you belong in all of them. My oldest friend pulled me aside and said, I like her. And I said, yeah, me too, which made her laugh at me. And she said, no, I mean I really like her for you. And I said, exactly. There's a particular feeling when the people you love the person you're falling for above any expectation, and you just feel confirmed in something you already knew but needed affirmed. You fit into every version of my life so easily that having you here now feels completely and breezy, like you were already part of the plan before the plan, and everyone who matters is already your fan. My friends text me after every time you come around, saying bring her back, which is the best possible sound. And I plan to keep doing exactly that for a long time, because every room is better when you're in it, and that's mine.
Certainty about a person is a different thing from certainty about a plan or a decision made. It comes from somewhere quieter, takes longer to arrive, but when it does, it doesn't feel like something swayed. It feels like the opposite of swaying, actually. More like the ground becoming solid underfoot, where all the wavering of before just stops, because something settled into the right spot. Being certain about you doesn't mean knowing everything, just knowing enough to trust what the next part will bring. Not with blind faith, but with evidence collected over months of you being exactly as expected. In the best sense of the word, where expected means you show up for the hard things, not just the easy scenes. You tell the truth even when it costs you something. You choose us when choosing is the whole of the thing. You made a decision recently that cost you something real, to honor something you'd committed to with me. Nobody would have known if you'd done otherwise, but you did the thing regardless, which is what I see. That's the kind of person worth being certain about. Not the perfect kind, just the consistently throughout. The easy parts, the inconvenient parts, the whole version of a life that shows you someone's soul. Being certain about you keeps feeling like the clearest thing. Not dramatic in its arrival, just quietly settling into the part of me that needed to be sure before committing to something worth being sure for. You looked at me last week like you were certain too, in that specific way that only comes when something's true. Two people certain at the same time about each other is probably the best thing that exists, I've discovered.
We hadn't even said goodbye yet at the door. I was already thinking about when I'd see you next. Not in an anxious way, just in the way where good things make you want more of them before the current one ends. You were putting on your jacket and talking about something, and I was half listening and half just watching you, and thinking about how the evening went so fast, and how I wanna do every part of it again with you. Having something to look forward to feels different now than it used to feel before you were part of how my week gets organized around the good things coming. And you were every good thing that keeps me running through the in-between days with a little more ease. Because somewhere at the end of the week there's please just a few hours of your company, and that's enough to make everything in between considerably less tough. You texted me from the street 2 minutes after leaving, said I forgot to tell you something, and then told me. And it wasn't anything urgent, just something you remembered. And I thought about how you thought of me completely on the walk home, which means I was on your mind in the same way you were on mine. And that kind of mirroring without any coordination is its own specific form of confirmation. Having you somewhere in the near future to look toward makes every current moment feel like something stored toward a larger thing that keeps on getting better. Every week another page of the same good letter. You said same time next week before I thought to ask, and I said obviously like it was the easiest task in the world to agree to. And it genuinely is, because next week with you is already the highlight. You walk through the city like you own the good parts of it, every block becoming slightly more interesting with you on it than it was before you arrived. Which is either the city or you specifically. Probably you, because I've walked these streets for years without finding half the things you've pointed out to me in the past few months of walking them with you. Who sees whatever hides in plain sight naturally? Every corner we turn reveals something worth stopping for. A detail on a building or a view nobody cared to explore. Before you noticed it existed in the first place, you ruined walking alone for me entirely in the best case possible scenario. Because everywhere I go has your commentary playing quietly below the surface of my own observation. Now I see things through your eyes without knowing how. You stopped to help someone read a map last week without being asked, just noticed they were confused. Gave them directions with your hands moving illustratively, then carried on like nothing had been used. That's the kind of person who makes the city better, not just for me but for whoever shares the weather of a Tuesday afternoon with you in passing. The effect you have on everything is lasting. Every street we've walked together has a memory on it. Every block between your place and mine has something on it, worthy in the most ordinary sense of worth. Just two people moving through a city, finding its worth in the small things that the hurrying commuters miss. You slow me down enough to notice all of this. The city looks the way it always looked before you came, but through your eyes it never once looks quite the same. You called shotgun before I'd even found my keys, and adjusted every setting in the car to yours. Temperature and mirrors and where the seat sits, and I didn't change a single one of them afterward. We hit the road without a destination decided, just the general direction of somewhere warm and wide. You connected your phone and played whatever felt right, and the whole afternoon opened up on the other side. There's a specific freedom in a drive with no arrival, just the road ahead and your company for survival of whatever the week threw at us before today. And we left it all behind somewhere along the way. You leaned your elbow on the window in the summer air, and let the wind do whatever it wanted with your hair. And I kept my eyes on the road, but mostly felt the whole weight of the week lift clean and leave us both whole. We stopped somewhere between nowhere and somewhere else, at a viewpoint neither of us had been to before, and sat on the hood and ate whatever was in the bag you packed without telling me which I love you more for. The drives that matter most don't have a point to make, they just give you space to breathe and time to take stock of everything that's good about your life. And what's good about mine has your name at the height. There's a specific ease about being in motion with you, no pressure to arrive or be anything particular or new, just forward and together, and music playing low, and the air coming in warm from wherever the windows go. You sang along to something you only half remembered, and made up the parts you'd forgotten unencumbered. And I loved every made-up word for the whole song and drove slower than I needed to all along. The same bar, the same corner, the same low evening light. You were already there when I walked through the door. Something about that keeps happening between us, like we're both pulled toward the same spot more. You looked up when I came in like you expected me. Not surprised, just settled into the fact of it. We ordered without discussing it, the usual things the waiter already knew, which says something about it. Whatever draws me back here every week has your name written quietly at the peak of every reason I can think of when I try. Not your name exactly, just the feeling of your eye catching mine across the room before we said hello. The warmth that follows me home after the evening's glow has faded from the room, but not from somewhere inside where you've been living rent-free for a considerable ride. You said something funny in the middle of a story that wasn't meant to be funny, but was completely the funniest thing I'd heard all week because of how you delivered it entirely seriously. The evenings here are good on their own merits, but they're considerably better with you in them. You make the ordinary setting feel like somewhere worth returning to, which is exactly what keeps bringing. Whatever keeps pulling me toward the same table has everything to do with you being capable of making any evening feel like the best one yet. With no particular effort, just by being here, you lean back in your chair with that look of yours, the one that opens up the most interesting doors in conversation without any key required. Just you being exactly who you are desired. The days are getting shorter by a few minutes each week. That specific late August shift where the light changes angle. You noticed it before I did on our walk last Tuesday. Said the evenings feel different now in a particular tangle of wistfulness, not sadness, just the noticing that something beautiful is slowly winding down. You said it without lamenting, just observing the way you observe everything in this town. There's a tenderness in the last of the warm evenings, when the year starts its slow turn towards something leaning into darker mornings, cooler air, thinner light. But you beside me makes the turning feel right. Not like something ending, more like a page turning to the next good chapter without any mourning of what the summer gave, because what it gave was this. Every warm evening with you, nothing I would miss. We sat outside later than was comfortable temperature-wise, because neither of us wanted to move inside. You brought a blanket from somewhere near the end, the kind of practical care you always provide. The season shifts, but you stay constant in the way that makes all the changing feel less like decay, more like variation on a theme worth keeping through every version of the year worth seeking. There's a warmth in the last of these long evenings that has nothing to do with the temperature or leanings of August toward its finish. Just the fact of you here in it, making everything intact. You pulled the blanket closer around us both so easily. The gesture so natural, it landed breezily on my chest like proof of something already decided, between two people who've already quietly decided. You say my name differently than everyone else does. Not the sound of it, just something in the delivery, like it means something specific when it comes from you. And every time I hear it, I feel it immediately. You said it across a crowded room last Saturday, and I turned around before I'd consciously registered that you were the one who said it, and thought about why my name sounds like that when it comes from you unfiltered. There are small things that give away how someone feels before they've said a word about it, and what reveals itself in all the small things that you do around me is something I've been noticing consistently and soundly. The way you find me in a room before you find your seat, and the way you check on me when the evening starts to heat up with noise and people, and you just quiet appear. And I think that's the thing I wanna keep every year. You called to tell me something that could have been a text, and I answered and you said hey, and then the next 3 minutes were the best 3 minutes of my Tuesday, and I went back to what I was doing in the best way. The small things stack up into something undeniable, and I've been stacking them for months in every viable corner of my memory, and what they add up to is a very clear picture that keeps looking like you. There are small things that tell you everything you need before the big conversation plants the seed, and all the small things you keep doing without knowing add up to a feeling in me that keeps on growing. songs I mentioned once in passing and bring them back around in ways that keep on lasting in my chest, past the moment and into the next day. And I think that's the kind of thing worth finding a way to say.
There was a version of me that kept one foot out of everything just in case, which felt like protection. But it was really just the habit of someone who hadn't found a reason for full connection. You didn't ask me to change that pattern directly, just kept showing up in a way that made it pointless. Because halving with someone fully worth it felt increasingly like the more painful choice. Going all in on something real is terrifying until the moment it isn't, which you're right. Somewhere between month 2 and month 3, without any announcement, it just arrived. Like a door I've been standing in front of for years, finally opening without any fanfare or fears, just swinging wide because the person on the other side was worth every single thing I had to lay aside. You noticed the shift before I named it to myself. Said something feels different recently in the best way. I said yeah, I think I stopped hedging on this without quite knowing that was what I'd started to display. The difference between being in something fully versus halfway is the difference between actually having it or just adjacent to it, which is the loneliest place I've ever been. Going all in on you keeps feeling like the right call. Every day that confirms it more than the last overall. Not because nothing goes wrong, but because when it does wrong. But because when it does, we handle it together, which is exactly what love was. Always supposed to look like in the version that actually works past the first easy excursion of feeling into the longer, more honest stretch. You're worth every part of that commitment without fetching.
You showed up in flip-flops to something that called for shoes, and owned it completely without a single explanation. And everyone in the room thought it was somehow perfect, which is just the effect you have on every situation. You move through the world like the rules are suggestions that apply to other people on a case-by-case basis. And watching you get away with everything you get away with is one of my favorite ongoing cases. You talked your way into a sold-out restaurant once and got us the best table on the first bounce. And when I asked how you did it, you shrugged completely and said, I just asked, which is so discreetly. You that I couldn't stop thinking about it for days. The confidence of just asking in the most straightforward ways, and getting the thing you asked for like it was always there, and teaching me by example that most things are if you just dare. We ended up on the beach by accident that evening after dinner ran long, and you said, let's just walk. And the walk turned into the water, and the water turned into an hour standing there and talk. You waded in up to your knees in your clothes and said, this is fine, in a way that nobody knows how to argue with. And I waited in beside you because what you do always seems worth doing beside you. You talked me into every good thing that happened this summer, including wading into the ocean in full clothes, which was a wonder, and standing there dripping and completely unbothered, and laughing at the state of us while everything gathered into one of those moments that locks into memory clean. And you are in the center of every good one I've seen in the past few months, and I want you in every one ahead, starting right now and continuing until further said. We got on the same wavelength so fast it surprised me. Usually it takes longer to find that kind of sync, but with you the conversation just clicked immediately. And I've been thinking about what that means, and I think it means something real, because the easy ones are rare, the ones where you don't have to translate yourself, where things land the first time without any adjustment, and you can just say what you mean off the shelf. We finish each other's references without any prompting, and find the same things worth stopping and commenting on in any given situation, where both in and navigate whatever comes up without any spin needed on the communication to get the point across. And talking to you never feels like any kind of loss of energy. see the way some conversations do. It only ever feels like getting more of something true. You got my sense of humor on the very first day, without me having to explain any context or way into the joke, and just laughed in exactly the right place. And I thought, okay, this person genuinely gets my pace. Finding someone who gets you without the work of establishing the context every single time is the kind of thing most people spend years looking for. And here you are, just effortlessly on my rhyme. We got on the same page without writing any of it down, and navigate each other without any frown of confusion or miscommunication landing wrong. And every conversation we have just feels so strong. And the way that things feel when the foundation is real, and the foundation between us has such a specific feel of two people who somehow already knew the language and just needed to find each other to use it with full advantage. You do this thing when something genuinely delights you, where your whole face rearranges itself completely. Not a polite smile, but the real one that arrives before you've had a chance to manage it discreetly. I've been cataloging the things that bring it out, without making it obvious that I'm keeping track. The specific conditions required for the full version to appear, which I've gotten pretty good at. There's the one for something unexpectedly funny, where you close your eyes slightly at the peak. The one for something beautiful caught off guard, where you breathe in before you speak. The one for something someone you love achieved, that takes a second to arrive and stays. The one you give me sometimes for no reason, that keeps me going through the ordinary day. You smiled at your phone last week at something I wasn't a part of, and I felt genuinely glad, not curious, just happy that you had something worth that expression, whatever it had. Love and someone's joy, independent of your role in it, is the version of caring that goes the deepest, where you want the smile to exist regardless of its source, because the smile itself is what you value the keenest. There's the smile you save for when something goes exactly right, that arrives slow like it earned the right to land tonight. The one for stories that ended better than expected, the one for people who showed up when least expected, the one you give when you've decided something clearly, that lands on me sometimes so specifically, nearly takes my breath away with how direct it is. That particular one I wanna keep is mine, that is. had a rough week and I knew before you told me, just from the way your voice sounded on the phone. Not broken, just a little thinner than its usual weight, the kind of tired that doesn't wanna be alone. I didn't ask 100 questions or offer solutions, just said I'll be there in 20, which I was. You opened the door, still in your work clothes, looking tired. I handed you the thing I picked up just because. Showing up without being asked is the whole thing. Not the grand gesture, but the quiet offering of being present when the day has cost someone more than it should have. By the time it's done, you sat down on the floor instead of the couch, which told me everything about where you were at the crouch of the evening. So I sat down on the floor beside you without making it a moment, just stayed right inside you. We didn't talk much for the first little while, just existed in the same space while the evening settled. You eventually started telling me about the week, the parts that wore the edges off your metal. Being someone's soft place to land at the end of a hard day is a role I wanna keep for every version of the way your week decides to treat you, whether easy or difficult. The showing up regardless is the whole result. Showing up for you keeps feeling like the clearest thing. Not complicated, not dramatic, just the offering of being here reliably whenever the week gets heavy. Consistent in the way that makes someone feel steady. You look better by the time we said goodnight. Not fixed, just lighter, which was exactly right. The kind of better that comes from not being alone in it, from having someone there who genuinely means it.
September came in quietly like it always does. A slight shift in the morning air before the heat returns. You noticed it first on the walk to the station. That specific coolness the last month of summer earns. You said something's changing in the weather, not with any sadness, just with that observant tone of someone who pays attention to the world around them, which is one of the things I love most since we've known. The summer that brought us to where we are now deserves some kind of acknowledgement somehow. Not a formal one, just the quiet recognizing of everything it held while it was rising. Through June into July into the August heat, every warm evening, every unplanned street, every conversation that moved something forward between two people heading in the same direction toward. You picked up a fallen leaf on the way to the train. The first one of the season barely turned at the edge. held it up between us like a small announcement that the year was moving gently off its ledge. Ooh, every season ending used to feel like subtraction. Now it feels like addition in a different form, because what the summer gave us isn't leaving. It's just becoming part of whatever comes in the wall. Exactly why I wanna hold this with you indefinitely.
We ended up on the rooftop around 6 without planning, and the whole city went amber below us. You were mid-sentence when the light changed completely, and stopped talking just to let the moment hold us. You looked at the sky and then at me and back at the sky, and said, this is ridiculous in the best way. And I agree completely, because it was. And so were you in that specific light of the day. There are moments that feel like they were made for two people, to stand in together and feel the whole cathedral of the world doing something genuinely beautiful. And you being beside me made it more valuable than anything I could have experienced on my own, because sharing it with you gave it a different tone of meaning that it wouldn't have had otherwise. And I wanna share every golden hour under every sky. Took a photo of the city, not of me, and then they turned the phone around and took one of us. And I looked terrible and you looked perfect naturally, and you set it as your wallpaper without any fuss. I looked at that photo later on my own phone and thought about how the evening felt from the inside versus how it looked from the outside, and decided that from the inside was the better ride. There are moments that only happen once exactly, and then live in your memory where they act free from the laws of time and stay as vivid as they were. And this one stays particularly clear and sure. You leaned against the railing as the sky went pink, and I stood close enough to feel the warmth and think that whatever this is between us fits this light. And I wanna keep finding out what that means.
been open every night this week. That specific late summer air that comes in cool after 10. You've been here for most of it, which has become the version of late August I want to have again. We don't do anything particularly remarkable, just exist in the same warm space as the evening thins. You on your side of the couch, me on mine, with that comfortable distance that shrinks on its own begins. Late summer evenings with the windows open wide have a quality that nothing else provides. The air's still warm, but carrying something new, a hint of what's coming without being blue. About it just present in the specific now of this season, with you here somehow making the last warm nights feel like the fullest ones of everything the year has offered everyone. You said something last night right before sleep that you probably didn't think I'd remember fully, but I did, because the way you said it landed in a place that doesn't let things go so newly. The things said quietly in almost sleeping hours carry a specific kind of honesty that towers over the careful daytime version of the same words, because the guard is down completely when it's heard. Late summer evenings keep feeling like they're holding something precious in the gradual unfolding of two people who got lucky with the timing of finding each other right when everything was climbing toward the best version of a season either has known. You pulled a blanket across without being told. The air had shifted and I hadn't noticed yet, which is exactly how you love, without any regret. Before you, I didn't know what it felt like to have someone root for you without conditions. Not the cheerleader kind, just the quiet, ongoing belief in you that requires no auditions. You believe in the things I'm working toward with more conviction sometimes than I manage myself. Bring them up unprompted in conversations like they matter, which makes me put them back on the shelf of things worth pursuing rather than just dreaming about. You have a way of making me less full of doubt, not through encouragement exactly, more through example of someone who does the things they care about, ample evidence of which is visible in everything you do. The way you commit to whatever matters to you, completely without waiting until conditions are perfect, which is the whole lesson I needed, most worth it. You pushed back once when I was about to give up on something I've been working on for months, not harshly, just with that clear-eyed assessment that cuts through the self-defeating stunts. Being person changes the internal voice more than any external praise, because it comes from someone who knows your full picture, not just the highlight version on display. Before you, I didn't know this version of myself existed, the one who follows through on things that once were resisted by the part that said it wasn't worth the effort. You made that part considerably less clever by simply being someone who does what they say, shows up for their own life in a full and genuine way, which made me wanna match it without any announcement, just quietly becoming someone worth the pronouncement.